A hotly anticipated Metroidvania finally sees the light of day this week, and yes, that means players will soon be driving headfirst into restoring memories to a mysterious vessel. But that's just the start. As always, the indie scene is unleashing a full onslaught of new releases, and we've sifted through every last one so you don't have to. Strap in because we've got the most complete, most exciting, most hype-packed indie rundown on YouTube, all right here in this week's Stream Drop. My name is Scrambled Ashton, and I am bringing you all the great-looking indie and AA releases for the week of January 19th through the 25th of 2026. If you love indies as much as we do and want to support their visibility, be sure to like this video, comment, share, and most importantly, head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Please note this list does not include early access games.
Whoa, just a second there, Ashton. Real quick, one more indie to add to the list this week before we jump into the main lineup. It comes from our awesome indie sponsor for this episode, David Amato, who helps make what we do possible. He's got a medieval FPS with a great sense of humor heading your way on January 22nd, Guards vs. Goats. This isn't your usual FPS with swords affair. In fact, it's the complete opposite of what you might expect. There's no brutal Dark Souls-style punishment here. It's a fully linear, story-driven experience with no major upgrades, no pesky inventory, and absolutely zero over-encumbered misery. Basically, light Souls. Yes, there's blood, but nothing too over the top, and when you're not swinging weapons, you can outsmart enemies in creative ways, dropping chandeliers on their heads, rolling boulders, or even disguising yourself to slip past guards. You'll hunt for key items, solve simple puzzles, and dive into a mix of timed, directional, and hack-and-slash combat that blends precision with speed. And once the story wraps up, there are custom chapters to play through as well. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link in our description box, and at the very least, get Guards vs. Goats on your wish list now. But you know what time it is. Let's get on to the indies.
Embark on what may be the most meta Metroidvania adventure yet as you explore The Vessel, a giant spaceship with areas containing their own ecosystems, as it traverses space with a mysterious agenda. You will play as MOCHI-O, an extraordinary robot with the ability to customize itself, as you explore the vessel to discover its purpose and why the AI caretakers have stopped functioning. Discovering this information may lead to MOCHI-O learning of its own origins and purpose. On your journey, there will be damaged robots that you will come across that you can repair, and have them assist you in the task of gathering information and gain bonuses from doing so. MOCHI-O can obtain upgrades and modifications by using components dropped by enemies, which can become weapons or equipment. So you can play this one in a variety of ways depending on your own preferences. With a captivating art style and a premise where exploring terrain and uncovering mysteries may be one and the same, this will be worth the attention for action exploration fiends when it launches on January 20th. The 2022 banger Cult of the Lamb is back in the headlines now with their newest DLC, Woolhaven, that launches on the 22nd. This new DLC fits in towards the end of the main game's campaign and sees your cult leader venturing onto the frozen mountains and recovering the lost souls who've come to call Woolhaven their home. There are new cultists to gather, structures to build, and enemies to fight, plus there is almost certainly the distinct brand of chaotic humour we've come to know from Cult of the Lamb. Keep your cult happy, or don't, it really is entirely up to you. Paper Mario meets corporate greed now in the upcoming RPG Escape from Ever After. This cute and quirky RPG puts you in the cartoony shoes of Flint as he sets out on a mission to save his storybook from the clutches of Ever After Inc., the most powerful company in the universe, who's been draining stories of their resources, employing their characters and destroying what is left of them. Through a series of adventures in different storybooks, you'll meet new party members, gain new skills, and hopefully take down the malevolent corporation from the inside. Escape from Ever After launches on the 23rd. Sometimes it's easier to get work done with a friend, but friends aren't always free when you need to get something done, which is where OnTogether virtual co-working comes in. OnTogether pairs you up with friends or strangers so you can all work together in either full-screen gameplay or as an overlay on your desktop. You can create your avatar, choose their focus animations, and head to various locations to lock in and do some work. But you can't have all work and no play, so during your breaks you can play mini-games, spend your focus coins, or jam out on some tunes with your fellow worker bees. OnTogether is a body-doubling dream that launches on the 19th. We always knew the world would be saved by goth girls, and thankfully, Breath of Life shows us what that might be like. This new third-person action RPG has you playing as an incarnation, a being born from the void whose goal is simply to get the artifact, the Breath of Life, by any means necessary. You'll be able to upgrade your equipment in the refuge before heading back into the Cursed Lands and taking down your enemies. Every portal you travel through gets you closer to the goal, but puts even more enemies in your path. Save the world, or destroy it, when Breath of Life launches on the 22nd. Two things that go hand in hand are, of course, horror RPGs and saucy women in leather jackets. And so Wicked Seed is bound to deliver an exciting new survival horror game for fans of the genre to get into. Playing as P.I. Ella Aster, you'll venture into foggy forests, underground tunnels, and an evacuated city to try and get to the bottom of Ella's past and the sudden appearance of monsters all over the place. There are 50 unlockable costumes, some more practical than others, plenty of guns to unlock and upgrade, and puzzles that need solving. Fight the monsters and look fab doing it when Wicked Seed launches on the 23rd. It's sequel time now as we take a look at Perfect Tides Station to Station, the sequel to 2022's Perfect Tides. While the original looked at the transition into teenage life, this new point-and-click game looks into the very sudden moment we all become an adult. Through the eyes of a freshly 18-year-old, we look at the world of the big city, experience complicated relationships, nurture their ideas, and gather items and information that will help her with her understanding of the world. So, if you'd like to remember what the not at all complex age of 18 was like, then why not give this one a go on the 22nd? I know some of you viewers groan when a game with interesting mechanics turns out to be a Souls-like, but this is a take on the genre that is much more friendly to the player. Weird RPG 2 is an action-adventure RPG with a parry-based combat mechanic, but it was deliberately designed to be much easier and more forgiving than most games in the genre. This passion project by a solo developer also brings an interesting twist by having a voice-activated magic system that uses your microphone. If you're interested in an experiment to see how this genre can be expanded in both gameplay mechanics and accessibility, then check out Weird RPG 2 when it launches on Steam January 22nd. Inkle, developers of Heaven's Vault, Overboard and A Highland Song, are back with a new investigation-focused game in the form of TR49. TR49 will have you combing through the archives of a strange machine, hiding a very important book within its core. In a manner similar to games like Her Story or Telling Lies, each entry will give you clues to related entries as a vast tapestry of a story emerges. Deduction fans should be eating well when this one releases on the 21st. If you like roguelike deck-building RPGs and dark fantasy, then this next one might catch your attention. In CARNEDGE, releasing January 19th on Steam, you will play as a brave warrior with the solemn duty to carry the lantern of eternal flame to the lighthouse to keep hope alive in this dangerous world blighted by magical corruption. On your journey, you will recruit allies and reshape the build of your deck to best face the challenges you will encounter. In addition to cards, you will also obtain powerful items and relics to customize the build of the hero to your preferred playing style. With its hand-drawn visuals and a huge world map to explore, CARNEDGE has plenty to offer for card RPG fiends. Are you a cozy game lover and perhaps also a hobbyist astronomer? Well, take a look at Astronook, a relaxing game where you'll explore the cosmos from the comfort of your room, mapping out constellations, discovering planets, and doing some light puzzle solving as you fill out your scrapbook. Astronook aims to take a cozy gameplay format and spice it up with a heartfelt narrative that lays itself out as you make your way through the game, and should hopefully land some chill, cosmic vibes when it releases on the 19th. Do you prefer your racing games to have an element of mayhem? If so, then perhaps you might want to keep an eye on this one. Highway Drifter Hajwala Simulator promises plenty of physics-based racing with mechanics that may satisfy your appetite for destruction. Based on Arab-style racing, you'll cruise and drift through deserts, cities and mountain terrain, providing a variety of environmental challenges. You'll be able to fully customise your car in both looks and mechanics, and experiment with builds that work best for you within the physics system. If this sounds appealing, then you can put your pedal to the metal when this one launches on Steam January 22nd. Next up is Woofy Run, a multiplayer-focused game where you'll race customisable pooches through trap-filled obstacle courses. Up to 8 real-time players can join a race while placing traps like slippery bones to throw other racers off their race. And with 14 selectable dog breeds, daily missions, achievements, and plenty of unlockables, there should hopefully be plenty of content here to let the good times roll over. Let's be real though, the opportunity to call this one Poor Guys was utterly wasted. A tower defense game with a difference now in the form of Gem Miner TD, where you'll need to dig out your maze and use the ores you unearth to fight back waves of enemies. The gems you find can be used to shoot down the waves of monsters that threaten to drag your miner straight into the fiery lava. With roguelike elements and the ability to quite literally break the game, the mazes you create might just end up being totally OP. Or you could get overwhelmed by the enemies that threaten you. Fight bosses, merge crystals, unlock upgrades, and dig out a winding maze when Gem Miner TD launches on the 20th. This next one is like if a Tamagotchi met a high-powered machine gun, as the only way to protect your country is to pet and feed a weapon that just so happens to look like a hamster known as MOCHI-O, which is also the name of the game. In between taking care of your hamster by feeding them, playing with them, and upgrading the cutting-edge technology inside of them, you'll be sent out on the streets to shoot down the invading forces to get more seeds and make MOCHI-O even stronger. This quirky shooter rocket launches on Steam on the 19th. Next on this list is a clever 2D platformer that looks like it could make me rage. Hack and Climb will have you playing as weapons themselves, an axe, a spear and several others, throwing them with precision and hoping they hit their targets, lest you fall and lose a dreadful amount of progress. With each weapon playing differently and a really cool pixel art style framing the experience, Hack and Climb could be an interesting platformer for those with the patience to conquer its challenges. It launches onto Steam on the 20th. Would you prefer to call the shots instead of facing the danger yourself in an RPG? If so, then Gridle, an auto-battling management RPG, might be for you. Customise your party with upgrades and increased levels, make sure your heroes are healed so they're in top shape for adventures, and manage things at base camp while your party is out exploring and fighting. There are over 300 upgrades, some class specific and others available for all. With 50 levels in the standard campaign and an infinite level mode that unlocks after completing it, there will be a lot of replayability. Those interested can create and manage their parties when Gridle releases on Steam January 21st. The use of cameras in horror games has been something long implemented, but Ghost Cam provides a novel approach in which the ghosts around you can't be seen by the eye, but will appear in photographs. Equipped with an Instaprint camera, you'll set out to capture pictures of ghosts while also avoiding being captured by said ghosts. The ghosts you encounter will have various temperaments and motives, so you'll have to discern the friendly from the formidable. In this endeavour, you'll also solve puzzles and unravel a mystery to discover the secret behind this haunting. While this is a VR game, it also has a standard mode so you can play without a headset. With multiple endings depending on choices and new ending paths that can be unlocked, there'll be plenty of content for ghost hunters to enjoy. Ready your camera for the launch of Ghost Cam on January 19th. Do you like card games but don't care for a roguelike structure? If so, then this next one may deliver something special for you. Launching January 20th on Steam, Grime Gold has players take on the role of a street alchemist who is able to create potions through stacking and mixing cards. You'll discover new recipes, manage resources, and keep an eye on the time as you attempt to satisfy your clients. With 96 cards, 25 recipes to discover, and a playtime of between 1 and 2 hours, Grime Gold could satisfy card game lovers looking for a short and sweet experience. Being open-ended and allowing for anyone to make a game in this fantasy world if they so desire, the Touhou series has included a variety of different gameplay styles, ranging from bullet hell to RPG to Castlevania-style action platformer. In the upcoming Touhou Blossom Blade, this concept is taken into the top-down action-adventure genre. After being told by her mentor that she lacked the skill to be a training partner, Konbakuyomu sets off on a mission to prove her worth by defeating the legendary shrine maiden Hakurei Reimu in battle. For those who want to embark on this journey promising a mix of action-adventure and bullet hell gameplay, you can begin your quest when it launches on January 21st. Now for a pretty unique concept, Our Journey the Silent Voice is an asymmetrical co-op game designed around not talking, for once. That's right, you're expected to cooperate with your partner without words, instead finding a creative way to communicate with symbols to help each other progress. One player will be a spirit and the other player will be the body, with the latter trying to determine their destination by comparing the spirit player's chosen cards to the environment around them. It's an ambitious concept for sure, and hopefully can stick the landing when it releases on the 22nd. Ready for some turn-based tactics? Stellar Raiders is a tactical roguelike game where you take charge of a group of space pirates to loot enemy ships and escape with your lives. Using turn-based combat, which the developer emphasises includes no randomness, each encounter will require proper timing, strategy and use of your abilities. You'll also be able to upgrade your ship and combine different abilities to optimise your runs. Check it out when it releases on Steam, January 23rd. Minesweeper fans, this one is for you. BroomSweeper is a Minesweeper-style roguelike puzzle game where you play as a janitor at Turta Tech Inc., a shady mega corporation with some unusual features like dust bunnies that are coming to life. Click floors to sweep them or cover them up, and place caution signs over the evil dust bunnies. The game looks to spice things up as well, with over 100 items and 20 different ascension levels to keep replayability high. Check it out when it hits Steam on the 19th. Last but certainly not least, we have Attrax, a gorgeous looking puzzle game using the core principles of magnetism to propel you through over 100 Portal-esque puzzles. There's also a significant amount of lore to discover for those keen enough, as you learn about the sinister Attrax Technological Institute and its undoubtedly shady secrets. Attrax lands on Steam January 19th. That's all for this week's Stream Drop, but let us know in the comments if you'll be playing any of the games we've talked about today, and make sure you like and subscribe for more indie content.